of your FICO. 760 and up, you know that's life goals. If your credit too low, walking on the tightrope. So yo, credit up, get your credit up. Credit up, get your credit up. Credit up.
One thing my dad always told me is to never settle for a job, right? Because a job stands for just over broke. Because he worked 50, 60 hours. He retired with a pension. But he said that wasn't it, right? He worked for somebody else 20, 30 years and didn't have $1 million cash when he retired. So he told me just to think bigger. And that's what I did. So I got into the real estate business in 2014, right? And just started marketing, sending out letters. I'm cold calling. I'm doing all of the dirt that most people don't want to do, right? But I'm doing it out of desperation because I need to do something different with my life. And I end up coming across a motivated seller, right? This person, I was going through a pre-foreclosure, a brownstone in Brooklyn. And you know, these properties in Brooklyn go for crazy numbers, but I was able to get this property under contract, $590,000, a 2-family brownstone. But the crazy thing is I didn't have the money. And this is why I like to share my story. I teach people how to go out there and buy commercial real estate with no money down strategies because that's how I started, right? And I tried to apply for a mortgage. They denied me because I was only making $55,000 a year, $50 to $55,000 a year. I was working at Pepsi as a sales rep. So I was Gatorade, Pepsi, Pure Leaf Tea. I was the one in the grocery stores 4 or 5 in the morning. Right?
Crazy.
And you know, I got denied for the mortgage. So I said, there's no way I could let this deal fall through my fingers. I went to over 50 real estate meetups, bro. I went on Eventbrite. And I would type in real estate meetups, and I would go bring my business card. I would introduce myself, dressing up, wearing a tie, to see if I could find my next business partner that will invest in me so I can get this deal done. And by the grace of God, I ended up finding a lady who was old enough to be my grandmother, and she's a broker, been in the business 20 years, but she said, I see something in you. Right? You remind me of my son. I want to help you out. She ended up connecting me to another investor who I showed the deal to. He put up the entire $590,000 for me. I put no money out of my pocket. I just had to give him 50% equity in the deal, right? So we acquired the deal, put about $40,000 in renovations, put it back on the market, sold it for $1.2 million, made 6 figures in real estate, my very first deal.
Your very first deal?
Very first deal.
Say that again, but say it slow. Your very first deal?
My very first deal. I walked away from the closing table net after my commission, split fees, $157,000 net to my pockets.
Father God. Goodness gracious. And then from there, you was off to the races.
Yeah, you know, I was up.